So this past week was absolutely phenomenal. There was over 80R available. There's probably even more that I missed. Watch this video. You're going to get far more value out of this hour-long video than you're going to get across 10 different YouTube videos across 10 different channels. This is the method that we trade at FTR. Well worth trying to learn it. Any questions, put them in the comments below. And if you want to join, there's a link as well. First of all, let's just go through the rules of the strategy. And I'll try and keep it as simple as possible. Typically speaking, price will just move from zone to zone. Okay, so I'm just going to draw out 3 boxes and we are going to pretend in this scenario that these are H4 zones. Okay, so a zone is typically a support and resistance zone, supply and demand. It could be an order block. Basically, it's just a reason for us to start looking at the chart within these zones. It's where price is typically going to be reacting from. So we're going to pretend in this example that price has essentially just moved up on the H4. And within the H4, once we get to this zone, we are looking for either a reversal pattern. So we'd look for chalk on the 15 minutes. And there's certain mitigation criteria which I use, like how deep into the H4 zone that I need to use. Or we could get something like a sweep on the 15 minutes and we could chance moving price down to the next zone. And if that's the case, ideally we want to try and get a break out of here, or at the very least try and get a series of confluences. There's several confluences which we'll use, but essentially we're just expecting to see price bounce like this from zone to zone, and that's typically what it does. Now on lower time frames, there's going to be other points of interest within these zones. Okay, so it's going to be 15-minute order blocks, which I'm typically looking at most to try and place my trades off. And each of these zones, they do actually move and they change shape a little bit as time goes on. For example, we'd have an order block here, which we would consider potentially targeting if price was to come back down after coming up here. We would then look to mitigate the most recent order block if it moves up from there. So we would be targeting this area for an entry. Then with price coming back down, if there was a new order block which was created around here, for example, like this, then we would try to get into another order and feed it back to the previous area again. And if we break down, then we'd look to head to the next zone and so on and so forth. So price is more or less quite predictable, but to add extra confluence, you can wait for continuation candles, you can wait for reversal candles, or you can wait for reversal patterns. Now the patterns that I like using is typically chalk. Okay, so with this very simplified structure, this is a continuation pattern. You've got a starting point right here, you've got a high point, and then you get price coming down. And then if we break the high, that's going to be classed as a break of structure, and that will then confirm this as a higher low. So that being a low, this being a higher low, this now being a higher high, and we'd obviously have these marked up if required. And then if price ends up coming down again, but not respecting this area and pushing up again, but instead pushing down, we would in fact now get chop. And chop just means change of character. It's a standard SMC term, and essentially it is just meaning that the market is potentially going to go back down in the opposite direction. Now that alone doesn't do anything. Okay, so if you do it within the middle of a zone, your hit rate is going to be very, very low. But if you add additional confluences like getting this formation on a 15-minute or even a 1 minute within H4 or an M15, then you've got additional chances. Also to that, you know, if there's higher time frames like a daily or a weekly or something like that, and then you've got an H4, then an M15, and then M1 pattern, those are the beast trades that we want to try and take and feed it literally to the next zone of that higher time frame, if possible, if it makes sense. So there's multiple confluences. I'll try to make sense of them as we go through, but any questions, just put them into the comments down below. Okay, so like always, we're gonna flatten our chart and go back to the start time, and we are going to do our chart markups because it's essential that we understand a multi-time frame approach to this. Here we are. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the highest time frame that we could consider, because we want to see a bird's eye view as to what's happening with the economy and just get a feel for what direction everything's going to be going in. So at the moment, the market's just pushing up. Okay, it looks like we've broken from this area, this consolidation for the last couple of years. price came down, did a fake out, pushed up, did a fake out, came down, retested this area on a support bounce, and we've just broken above and closed, just with a wick. So chances are price will probably push up again. So on a weekly time frame, we're not placing trades unless we're looking at doing the swing trading version, but I'm not, because I've got time to scalp and day trade. So weekly, my bias is up. We had a good strong close the previous week. Going to drop down for daily. Again, it's not a time frame which I will take independent trades from, but it is very useful for finding rebalances, because quite often you'll find when the market is trending, we will bounce off of an area which is a rebalance to an order block. So this, for example, not necessarily an order block, but price has reacted from around the wick area, okay, to rebalance the area. So on a lower time frame, chances are there was maybe like an M15 order block, which would make a long from here make sense, or at least give you a couple of confluences towards taking a trade. Okay, so on this, I am going to say there's a daily kind of like rebalance right here, which I know was marked out in the group. So, I'm not going to pretend that I don't know about that one, but the daily makes perfect sense. And we're now going to have a look at the time frame which we use most of the time, okay, which is the H4. Now this is to give you kind of like the daily structure. Okay, if the H4 is up, ideally we want to be trying to get into a trade on the M15 or the M1 going up. It's as simple as that, really. I see the H4 pretty much as the session timeframes. Okay, so London is typically 8 till 1:30, but there's an H4 in there. There's maybe 1.5 H4s, but I'm quite happy to class the H4 as the medium time frame typically. Okay, so there's an H4 down here, and there's nothing really which is standing out to me that is left behind. All right, so hopefully you can see this color on top of that color, and then naturally as well, it should be looking for other areas which need rebalancing. Okay, so there's an inside bar down there on the H4, and there's also a rebalance here. And then above this whole structure, let's have a look and see if there's anything at all. Kind of. So I don't like the look of this really. Let's look at the low of this, 779, and the high of that, 758. So it didn't rebalance. I'm just going to go with the last opposite candle here. Okay, so doesn't look great. Okay, really not a fan, but that would be a reasonable target once we clear our area that we're at currently. So here we go. We can drop down to the M15 now and see where we're at for the week. Now, I remember shouting this out in the group. By the way, what I'm going to do in this video is, because I did shout out the majority of these trades into the FTR Discord group, I'm just going to put like little flashes of the screenshots on there just to show you guys that the people within the group get a lot of value throughout the week as well, where you can just see where I'm looking to take trades, as well as daily. At least once a day I will update the group with a video right at the start where I'm basically marking up my chart, saying I'm looking at this area, I'm looking at that area, and a couple of trade drawings on there as well, just to get everybody aligned going in the right direction. So I'm going to mark this up as a 15. Okay, so an M15 there, and what I'll do is I set alerts when I'm trading live, so I don't have to worry too much about price fluctuations. So obviously a key area, the reason for that is we've come down, you've got like a little break of structure down here, like a chalk, and then break of structure, and of course, like the M15 has bossed back up a little bit, but we've run into an issue there. An order block is behind on that green candle. So just to zoom in a little bit here, there's an order block right there, and then pressure coming down. And then there was this order block, which is like the midway, which was expected. All of this being curve liquidity, no standout order blocks, price absolutely crashed through. Then I would say there was potentially a like order block down here, but it doesn't look superb, but I'm gonna mark it up anyway. Okay, so there's a 15 on there. I'll drop down to the M1 and see if there's anything better for us to go for. And then further down, let's just investigate this H4 as well. So we've got the daily, we've got that H4, and there is, right at the start of that, I would assume, news event. Oh, 3:30, it's probably just, yeah, probably news on a Wednesday. Okay, so there's an M15 there, and there's obviously one at the bottom as well. But I'm gonna get it to that weight. Okay, so we've got daily, H4, two M15s that I'm keen on. We got an M15 below us, an M15 above, and no immediate bias really of what to do. So just gonna click on and get started for the week. Okay, so let's get cracking on with the week and see how we get on. So I'm just going to click through manually most of the time. Obviously, price had dropped for the open and worked its way up, but no trades because the spreads are mad around here. Possibly a chance to get long there, but you know, most people are going to be asleep or just not paying attention on Sunday evening. So we've got round to 8 in the morning. London has opened and we've been left behind this nice sort of order block here. So a nice M15, which will cover the low. There's this, which is looking nice as well. So I remember this day just being quite flat for ages and not looking great. Like obviously we want the price to push upwards. I'm gonna check the 15-second because I can't make anything out. Go back to the 1 minute. Probably here. And I'd rather cover the low on that. So it's a bit tricky because price broke there. And essentially kind of started back there, so there is no real imbalance. Let's go with that. I always try to narrow down a 15 with an M1 and then try to get an entry off a rejection candle if I can find one. So that'll be fairly decent. If it can come in, let's just skip forward. Here we go, this is looking positive. Almost an entry. Oh, it looks like we might have just missed it. Oh, it jumped a bit. There. Oh, there we are. It's quite hard to see that, so I'm going to zoom in, but I'd like to get an entry. That is really hard to see. I'm just going to get rid of that one. Probably say an entry straight off of that, to be honest with you. The bigger candle, it's quite, yeah, it's quite big for my liking, but it's all right. Go behind the swing. Oh, could have gone all the way for that. Oh well, where are we gonna set a take profit? I'd say right there. So next M15 seems to make sense. And that'll be a 5R if it comes in. There's quite a few now. There's another chance, another one, potentially off of this. Off of that one, yeah, I could have got a better entry, I think. Definitely. No, if that I was just about to say, if that gets refilled. Yeah, oh well, here we go. Yeah, that's a nice candle. That's the sort of candle that I'd want. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, it's still going. Okay. I'm going to jump to the 15 in a minute because this is doing my head in. There we go, TP. And that's a live chart. So, gonna have to go look at it. Right, all good. So, as I've said plenty of times before, I set alerts wherever I can. So that was prime example of potential trade, but it's at the moment it's 8 in the evening, and I don't really want to get into a trade with, you know, just an hour left before spread hours, maybe 2 hours. Volatility should drop quite a lot. Now we've come up to this 15. Don't know where that box just went, but we come up to that 15. I'm gonna drop down to the M1 here. Well, I am on the M1, but let's see about a potential order block. Just gonna go there. Oh, that's what I've done wrong on the last candle. Here we go. Being inclined to say it, there's an entry possibly there. See if we can get a break below this. This is what I think that I was marking out in the group at the time. Yeah, actually I'm pretty sure I took a loss here because price came down then shot straight back up. And then this candle, which was my entry into the market. So I will post that into here, some sort of screenshot somewhere. So I know what happens with this because it was a juicy 15R trade. Okay, I think my entry was not quite as good. Jump to 15, the target was down here. Right, so the rebalance of that. Now that one's being used, it was this. So yeah, it was all right. It was a 100 quid risk and 1500 return. So I took a loss there within the 15. I didn't take this trade because it was still a bullish candle in the end. But I took this one because it was the extreme of the 15 with the M1, and we also broke the top of it and closed back in. So that's called a sweep entry in FTR. It's probably a sweep entry everywhere else. Then it was a case of just sit and wait, and it came close. And when I say it came close to stopping me out, like it came close within 0.1, 0.2 of the pip. But it didn't, luckily. But I'm pretty sure there were plenty of opportunities to scale in, which I didn't take. So there'd be an initial take profit area if you'd want it, which would be here, which would be like a 1 to 4, 1 to 5, something like that. But I remember just holding my nerve and thinking, well, I know the rules of my strategy. Let's take it to the next area where there's going to be a rebalance on the 15. And so we're not going to do the whole week on a 1 minute, but let's just see what happened. So we'd left behind a nice order block here. Okay, so if we look at the structure of this, oh no, not quite yet, but internally we broke a low. All right, so that's just internal. And then I think we get a break of this, do we? Yeah, so we get a break below here, which makes it like external, which makes this valid. Okay, so just going to check the M1 to see if there's a good entry off of this, which there is. Okay, so again, because I like to not necessarily scalp. You know, I'm still taking these as intraday trades, but I just like to be precise. You know, instead of trying to get a stop loss of 5 to 8 pips, I'm trying to get more or less 2 or 3. But I tend to trade the reaction candle, so more like a confirmation. So my stop loss is usually 3.5. But if I need to set a pending order, which is rare these days, this would be the stop loss. So we'll keep that on there. And again, I believe that was called out in the group. And then yeah, TP at 9 o'clock. So I think a TP just a little bit before. So stop loss was tiny bit above there, which is all right. And that is pretty much coming to the end of Monday. So we had actually a couple of trades here, don't we? When was it? I swear there was a trade that we just had on. Did that just delete itself? It did. Yeah, it's from down here. So that was, I think I remember that being 5R, this being 15, so that's 20 in a day. Both were called out in the group, which is cool. No, I'll post that somewhere as well. The edit on this is going to be a real pain in the ass. The main thing which I hate doing. Oh, hang on. M1, let's see what there is. So an all right M1 there, and a fairly decent one there. Okay, so a couple of M1s, which I quite like. Yeah, I like it. So let's just roll on the 15 and see if we can get an entry. So what I'd be saying at this moment in time, so if I was doing like an evening markup, I'd say I'd want to press down into here, maybe even deeper, come up to this place, get tagged in, and then feed on to the next one. Okay, so you're just following the flow of the market, refilling the imbalances. And that's basically what the market does. It heads towards where the liquidity is, and the liquidity is in the condensed areas. Like there's maybe 5 or 10% liquidity above highs and lows. There's literally like almost nothing. But sometimes when you get the sweep and the close back in the zone, that's a good sign that there had been a fake out and you should get in the opposite direction, which is why this strategy is actually good for trending as well as condensed markets as well, where it's ranging. Drop down to the 1 minute here. So I keep forgetting that white is down on my charts now. But anyway, we had a nice close above, which is pretty cool. What time is it? Yeah, doesn't matter what time is. Oh shit, there we go. And green is bull. So we're in the middle of the two areas, so I'd expect us to come down to this M1 right here. I don't really want to enter in the middle of nowhere. Just about to say then I should have entered. Here we are. Ooh, nice rejection. Just get a green candle now. Yeah, that'll do. So entering off the reaction. Forget it, do that. That's probably the biggest that my stop would ever be. Don't really like the look of that. Try and get basically get a trade and bring the stop down. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I didn't take this, by the way, just so you're aware. And there's actually a second chance here as well. Right there. You could do the stop just below this. So there's a second trade that you can, you know what, I'm going to put that on as well, just because it would be like an instant scaling. And let's just go over the reasons for this. Just want to double check that I'm not bullshitting myself here. So 15's come down, we've left behind, oh yeah, I remember seeing that. We've left behind an imbalance here on the 15. M1, you can see more detail, but on the 15, that's an imbalance. We're reacting from the extreme on the 15. We've just got a nice strong rejection. We haven't technically had chalk on the 1 minute yet, but strong rejection, push out, press back down to tag in again, and then feed up to here. So this would be my target. And I know that my ideal entry is right at the furthest point, but I would rather take profits just on the order block itself, just to make sure that I bank something. Just going to get that precise. Oh, there. Oh, it was right. Anyway, so a couple of decent trades there. Obviously, for me to take this scaling, and I always recommend this to people, try to move your stop on the first one up to break even. So at any one point, you're only ever going to be risking like 1R, the equivalent of 1R, but for every more or less iteration that it's going up, you're gaining pretty much 2R, like, slightly less than 2R because the stops are different sizes. But to see what I mean, like, you're carrying the risk forward with you. There we go. We've got like an internal. Oh man, this is getting messy. Let me just move these out the way a little bit. Yeah, I'll tell you what, move this one too. So there's another chance right here. Again, like, yeah, this is 1:45 in the morning, and a lot of people say don't trade Asia, but Asia, since maybe February, has been like the new London. It's been pretty good. Oh, there we go. See, that's another one. Yeah, you know what? I'll mark that one as well, just for the sake of it, because this is what I call a moving extreme. So the extreme was this order block down here, then it had moved to here, then to there, now to here. So that one can go as well. I'll line that up when needed, and now there's another one left behind as well. So this is essentially how you scale your account rapidly. And I didn't do it on the move down because I don't think there was actually the scaling to take, despite me saying I thought there was, but there wasn't. There was on the 15, I believe, but I didn't get any on the M1 despite watching it quite well all day. But let's keep on going and see if we can get an extra one here. Looks like it's going without us now. No. Yeah, it's going without us. Here we go. There's a new one. So let's get that one off the screen. But yeah, looks like it's going without us. We'll see. Bye then. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it wasn't that one I was looking at, was it? It was this one. So there and there. We can get a nice rejection candle again. Probably that. Yep. Cool. Oh, there we go. It's a retest of this. Whoa, there we go. There's your entry candle. Looks neat. So some of you guys, like, in the US, I think would be awake at this time, or am I not quite right with that? Or maybe it's the Asian traders, but either way, another good trade. Put the stop loss behind where it should be. And off you go. Man, this is crazy. Okay, well that's stopped us out and given us another one straight away. So what was that one? That was for a pending order there. Okay, so and then I was trying to do that. So get rid of one of them. That was a loss. We're now in this one. There we go. I think it's going. Yeah. I think it might be time to flick to the 15. Let me just mark an X on here because I'll accidentally count that otherwise as a win. In a matter of fact, I'll bring that down and tally these at the end because I think that this was a phenomenal week. Much like this week has been so far, and it's only Wednesday and there's already been over 20 R available. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's teased us so badly and stopped us out of probably quite a few. And it's given us another entry. So, yeah, we've got a stop right there. Would this one be stopped? Yep. So that's my over eagerness wanting to do well from this. And if you do it set and forget, that would have reached 20 R and then you'd be sulking a bit. So, yeah. But don't worry, because this strategy is a monster. Then we're going to place this one on in hindsight because that's quite a good projection. Oop, I like that there. And that's going to be pretty much exactly there. So not as good, you know, nearly 9R with that, but we'll see. We're going to look at a 15 again. Because if we try to make sense of this, let's just clear it up a bit. That's quite a good looking order block. Up, down, oh, break of this, come down, break. We've now broken that area only with wicks. Then we come down, pushed up, down, rejected off of here, swept this actually. So swept could go either way, but I think in the group I was saying I've got a short ready for this, and next target is probably going to be, you know, bare minimum that. But in reality, going to be down here, you know, looking at the next M15 order block to refill. Let's get these back on. Oh, thought that had like deleted everything then. And then red news. So in this instance, where we got red news in a second, because you'd already be in some trades going north and you're about 25 away from stop loss, retail sales, don't think anyone cares about. So not a big news event, probably get 20 pips at the most. So just, you know, in this instance, move your stop loss to break even on all of them and just keep on holding on for trade. But if you were looking to get into a trade, like, you know, here, for example, I wouldn't place it just in case there's some freak news, which we had with Jerome Powell. Is it Jerome Powell? Oh no, Powell, J Powell, yesterday. Like that. Okay, so what's that saying? Retail sales does nothing most of the time. So did we get any winners in that area? We had the first two, and then price came down, slapped those three out. And would it have knocked that one out as well? No. So we'd have had 1, 2, 3 trades. Is that it? I felt like there would have been more. Oh well. I've probably missed a couple, but there's 9 there. There's, no, round it up, call it 10 and 6. So pretty decent. You know, 3 losers in quick succession. And then plus 15. But if you'd have banked on any of those, like that one in particular, like, yeah. Pretty good. And then you've also got a short here. So if you're using pending orders, you know, which you can, I'm not a fan of them personally, but if you're using pending orders, you'll be in this. Where's your target going to be? So I'll get rid of this once we've gone through it. But realistic target is going to be this order block right there for me. Okay. And that's quite a move, isn't it? Drop down to the 5 seconds, see if there's anything there. And the reason why I dropped down to the 5 second on this is that, yeah, that's like a ridiculously low time frame. But, you know, the size of the order block just on the 5 second is 5 pips. So it's like the same size as almost like an M15. So think of it like that. Rather than time frames, think of volume. Oh, I was about to say rebalance there potentially. So there's a. Oh no, I don't like it. On the 15, it looked like there's space, but you know, on the 1 minute, I can't see anything. All right, for some reason it's slowing down. All right, and we've got another order block here. Oh wow, look at that! Straight down to the next one. No, I'll go from the rebalance. So we get rid of this one now. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's there. We can get rid of this one as well. So that's decent as well. Yeah, 27R. Don't think anybody took that because we were conscious of the news. But we were in longs already. So bit of a monster week so far, isn't it? What are we on Tuesday? Yeah. All right. Well, right. So hopefully I'm not as croaky as I was. So I want to flick to the H4 and check it, but I'm going to have to go back a little bit. Nah, you know what? Let's just keep going. See if there's a M1 in here to go long. Kind of. Yeah, that looks all right. Let's cover that. And watch it as it comes in. Oh, okay. It's just pulling straight away. So maybe not. Maybe there was a chance to go, well, there wasn't, but the opportunity to go long perhaps. Does it just rebalance off of this? Nope, not quite. Check 15. So I quite like these for some reason. It's like, I just call it a switch over. I don't know if there's like an actual trading name for it. And look back as well. It's on support and resistance. So it's kind of like something here. It's like halfway up the leg. It's not an order block, but on a lower time frame, it's a disruption. It's almost like orders which were shorting starting to close their positions and just sort of pull back a little bit. A bit like an order block, effectively. So, you know, with every order, there's an opposite order. For everybody selling their position, like clearing the position, there has to be a buy. So, yeah, technically an order block, but no. What did I just say? Oh, never mind. There we go. Well, it is playing with it, isn't it? That'd be the ideal entry to get short, but forget it. It's not like it's not a solid M15, and there's no reason really. Oh, here we go. Shame really, because that's a bit of a move. Oh, anyway, broken straight through. What's the time? Time for an H4. Oh, look at that. Plays back in the range. Check the H4. All right. No way would I be looking at longs. Wouldn't be looking at longs at the moment, but we do have a decent H4 forming here, well, formed. So a nice H4 there with an M15 here, and that was being used. So let's clear this up a little bit, make it easier to see, and yes, that's all recent. Okay, cool, and I'll get rid of that because it's just confusing now, and that's not being finished with because we haven't had the close outside, so it's still like a relevant area. That's closed back in. And there's also, again, another wood block, which, yeah, I quite like the look of. So let's drop down to the M1. Oop. Thought it was going to jam her. Hope you don't mind my ramblings on here, by the way. Yes, I give myself the best company to sort of, how do you describe it? Reason with myself on the trades. I'm only going to be cutting out like bad language and stuff on this. Look at that, just a retest of the area. And we're heading down to the daily. Oh, this can all go. Sorry, it's been rammed through. But that's kind of like an order block, but not great. I'm a bit directionless. I want to go down, I think. Just building permits, nobody cares. It's like a dud event, and then a move out of nowhere. So, what time is it? No. Oh, hello. Might be putting one on in hindsight. No, I won't. Well, actually, having said that, if you're taking the M15 trades and you're doing a pending order, there's no reason why you wouldn't be taking that. So we'll put that on. I know a lot of people kick up a fuss if I put stuff on in hindsight, but you know, it's backtesting, so it's not me versus the market on this. Just take it to a daily. Although it's not quite enough on it for that. Yeah, I'd allow it. 3.84. I'll take that. $3.75 is the bare minimum that we would take. There we go. Whoa, look at that. Okay. Did I just miss some news? Either way, there's no entry there for me. That's some news. Fed press conference, okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, never mind. Out in the middle of no man's land, so just move a little bit. There's an inside bar here. Let's look at the M1 again. Only wicks, and there's a decent woodblock here. Just going to say there's something there. But I didn't see that wick. Never mind. And we did just miss to take profit from the original idea. So, oh well. We'd have got it though. But I remember this because somebody got into a trade, which is pretty cool. So do 1 on the 15 close, which is the correct thing to do. So be on the close right there. The stop loss was behind the 15 because you're not going to go all the way down to the daily. And obviously, next target is going to be liquidity. So 4.76. I'll drop down to the M1 and try and get better, which I think one of my colleagues in FTR took, but I'm not 100% sure. But if they were to take one, there's 2 here. One there. And there's one here, and I guess technically there as well. But that looks weak. I don't like it when it's sort of staggered like that. But yeah, technically there's 3 order blocks. TP will all be the same as the M15, but I'm pretty sure one of them got an entry here. Oh. Look at that. So off the close, well, technically it would be the open of the next candle. Stop loss behind there. No, your initial target. Nope, won't be hit. So could go with that. Looking good, 12 hour. And there's another order block. Literally, oh no. Yeah, technically there's another order block. So if you didn't do the market entry, there's actually this as a pending order, but the pending order would be that. Okay, so it's just such a good strategy. And on this, I've got, what, 5 courses in there. There's 2 for the FTR strategy, like what you're watching. There's a scalping version. There's London Breakout, which is like a beginner's sort of entry into figuring out how order blocks work. Then there's the fake out, and there's also a swing trading strategy. So really there's 6 courses. And you'll also get 3 days of onboarding with me as well when you join. So that will bring you up to speed with everything quite quickly. And just hopefully get you trading profitably, fast. Bit like our friend Christian, who's just joined us a week ago and is already smashing it. Go. Nice 15 here as well. So yeah, over the last, I don't know, 12 months or so, I've been able to update the strategies, the actual whole of FTR, make it even better than it was before. Oh well. Okay, you wouldn't be too happy getting tagged into this. I'd be thinking about entering there, to be fair. Yeah. I'll put this in as what's looking like it's going to be a loss straight away. Because I would, yeah, be honest, I would take that. Oh, stop loss is below here. There you go, straight out. Put in another X. And then we got another one potentially. That was a nice move. Oh well. Oh, look at these rejecting. Okay, so that came down. Order block pressed down, so I've actually missed maybe a couple here. So that didn't press down into the order block that I would want, even though it's the last down candle. Big push up. Yeah, but it didn't reach where I'd marked up. And then we came up, chopped here, order block here. So there's a pending order off of this if you wanted it, but there's actually just an entry off of this, stop loss behind there, and target the next order block. Pretty sure I've made a hash of that in comparison to the guys in the group. So it's been really good lately, like phenomenal result. Probably the best results that we've been getting in 6 months. Because I think that the group are just working together really, really well. Shit, look at that. Oh, I came down to that one. No way. So anyway. Yep, sometimes I could surprise myself. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay, well, I would not be re-entering myself. All of that trying to get like a scale in. Oh my god, look at that, it's just torn straight through it. So we've still got these ones running, by the way. Just racked up a load of losses. 1, 2, gone straight through, so that wouldn't have worked anyway. Wouldn't have got an order, and I'll get rid of that now as well. So just took 2 losses trying to scale in, which is fine, by the way, like considering the size of these trades when they come in. So scale-ins and losses are all just part of it. Oh my god, look at that. That one's been taken out now as well. Yeah. We're back to break even on this one. Oh my days, the whole day to get back to where you started. That's all that can be taken out. Oh, I think I mentioned about putting something on here. But at least this will make it clearer for us. Not really. Not helpful. Should I even be looking at longs? Yeah. Although, no. Maybe, I don't know. Solid, we're in, so who cares? There's a 15 rejection right there. Good pattern. Yeah, whatever. I think that's a long there. I was just about to say it's not looking very great, but that is pushing. Well, at least we're on Thursday, so nearly done with this now. It's going to be a long video. Let me know, by the way, if you like the longer versions, because I don't like editing. I don't like sitting through this, but I am going to sit through it. To be honest with you, I do prefer doing the backtesting videos, because doing the shorter videos on like, oh, here's a tip how to do boss and chalk, like it just feels a little bit like amateurish, and I just don't really like associating myself with that kind of crap. I remember saying that I don't like the look of this in the group because they're equal lows and it's just a doji. Is that a weekend? No. We're about to go into Friday. Boom. So 1, 2, 3, loads of losses and a little win. So out of all of that, we gained +1, but hey, sometimes that happens. And we've also got potential for a short along here. Or not. I probably missed it. Okay, so we've broken out. This looks alright. No, there's no swing. Forget it. Oh, we've even reached the next one. Oh, which we have reached before, so. Let's see if there's an M1 in here. Should have done that before, to be fair. It's being rebalanced. There isn't an M1 apart from here. And it's not good because it's the same direction candle anyway. But we still reacted from it. And I wonder if it's going to... Like, that would have been a rebalance. Let's see if there's... Oh, there's a 15 down here. I kind of feel the need to check an H4, which I pretty much can. In the time. There's now like a sort of okay-ish H4. Oh, okay, and that little crappy doji is on it. So that little crappy doji might actually be worthwhile. I can remove that now. That's tidied it up a bit. So this is what I would be saying in my group. We're possibly reacting off of that and down to here, push up further, or push down into here, go into an M15, and then wherever we want to go. So we're literally just following liquidity all the time. What day are we on? Friday at last. I'm going for 50 minutes. Maybe I should have got short. Oh, look at that. Nice. No order block. That's ugly. There's a possible M1 here. I don't know if this can be narrowed down. I think it would just have to be a trade straight off the 15, unless there's this. But there's that. No, straight. Never mind. Let me know if you got any questions on this, by the way. And if you do like it, I will make more. I'll probably just do like one a week though, because it's taking a lot of time. It's 8:45 at night now. You can't really dedicate time to doing videos like this during the trading day. And when it gets to this long in, I'm sort of losing the will to live. It's boring. Drop down to the M1. Oh, okay, so we hit it. So be the open of that. Lost there. Or there's the actual M15 itself. See if this would work even to that. I think we're going to go to the next H4. Yeah, 6.89. But if you'd have taken the actual pending order, you'd be looking at 11. So, yeah. It depends what you want to do, by the way. So it depends if you have the time availability to take trades or not. You know, can you drop down to the M1? If you can't, then you'll be setting pending orders on these 15s. You know, preferably finding an M1 within the 15 But if there's like 3 on each one, you probably just want to be taking a pending off of the 15 and not the ones. Even though it will increase your account over time, it will do your head in with 10 losses in a row before you get a beastly win, which can be the case when using purely just pending orders. Let's switch timeframes. So this is looking all right so far. Yay, keep going, go to profit. Oh, it's not doing it. Doing it. Hold on. I've missed here. I've missed something. So that was an order block, and we've basically gone up, swept and closed back in. Should have been looking around here for an entry. So I'm just going to check and see. I'm guessing this was the pullback. That would have been an idea. So that would be chalk here on the 1. Oops. Like that. And then that would have been an order block. Like that. So you'd be shorting here based on that closing. So I'm just going to put this on here. Nah, to be fair, at this time on a Friday, you won't. So I'm just going to play all of these out and just get to the end of the Friday. I didn't realize the time. Oh, we have like 4 candles left. Ta-da! Done. So let's count these up. I'm just going to do a quick dash on it. So, oh wow, look at that. And we'd even marked it out. So yeah, like this strategy works. 6.89 plus 4.76 plus 3.84 plus, is that the 15 that I took? No, that's even better, 27.67 plus that, which is 8.84. This looks like 2 wins. Would it be? Sorry, pressed the wrong button and jumped over to the pound by accident. So that one would have survived. Okay, so plus 9.7. Plus 6.25. Now I know that I got a 15 out of this, which is that one. Yep, plus 14.79. And that's it. Oh no, there was another win around here, wasn't there? And it was like 5. Let's just call it a flat 5. Plus 5. Whoa! 87.74. Oh, we got to count losers. One, two, how many is that? 3? 3. 4, 5, 6. Wow. So here's the result. So minus 6. Plus 81.74 R for 1 week. That is pretty good going, you know. Yeah, we called out probably 70 R of that in the group, which was pretty cool. So yeah, congrats to, you know, MD and Christoph, who's just joined the group. You guys are absolutely smashing it. I know one of you got something like 58R or something like that out the market. So, you know, you beat me where I got in the end 12.5R. So well done. And just for everybody else, the link is below to apply to join my group. I won't be accepting everybody and I won't even send out emails to everybody, but feel free to apply and hopefully I'll see you inside.